When you're traveling in the TARDIS, it's not all about quick trips and getting back for tea. Some Doctor Who storylines have spanned months and even years. Let's take a look back at some of the best stories from Doctor Who's 60-year history. The Key to Time. Long-spanning Doctor Who storylines were less commonplace during the classic era, but Doctor Who Season 16 took a different approach. Every single story in this series was linked by an overall theme. That is, the Doctor and his new companion Romana searching for the 6 segments of the Key to Time. Each story focused on a particular segment, with the 2 Time Lords journeying to different points in time and space trying to locate the hidden pieces. It was a strong idea, even if it did reach a somewhat anticlimactic conclusion. The Doctor assembled all of the pieces only to throw them away again. They were scattered and hidden in time and space once more. But at least the Black Guardian was defeated. He had been trying to locate the pieces for himself. Interestingly, the idea of having longer Doctor Who storylines was something that incoming producer Graham Williams always wanted to do. In fact, he hoped to use the Key to Time concept for his very first season, but much of the series had already been planned by the time he took over the reins. To this day, Doctor Who Season 16 remains a popular one among fans, particularly as it saw the Doctor Who debut of popular writer Douglas Adams, who would go on to pen City of Death and a little show about a hitchhiker, The Cracks in the Skin of the Universe. This was one of the overarching Doctor Who storylines that Stephen Moffat introduced in his first season as showrunner. In fact, the plot of his first episode, The 11th Hour, hinged on it. A young girl called Amelia Pond had a crack in her wall, and it was through this crack that the dreaded Prisoner Zero escaped before wreaking havoc in Ledworth. As it turned out, this wall crack was actually a crack in the skin of the universe, and as Series 5 progressed, it became clear that there were more of them. Ultimately, it was revealed that the cracks were caused by an exploding TARDIS, the Doctor's to be precise, and it blew up in the closing moments of the Pandorica Opens. We should point out, though, that this was one of the more complicated Doctor Who storylines, and the cracks were only part of it, because there was also the aforementioned Pandorica, which the Time Lord had been warned about in the 11th hour, plus the promise that silence would fall when it opened. Silence will fall when the question is asked. This was the prophecy that underpinned one of the farthest-reaching Doctor Who storylines in history. In fact, these words followed the 11th Doctor around for the entirety of his run, with everything coming to a head in his final episode.
On the fields of Trenzalore, at the fall of the 11th, when no living creature can speak falsely or fail to answer, a question will be asked, said the prophecy. A question that must never, ever be answered. The first question, the oldest question in the universe, hidden in plain sight. Doctor Who?
And the 11th Doctor saw this prophecy unfold in his final episode. The Time Lords were calling through a crack in the skin of the universe, and they are asking him to confirm his identity so that they could come through the breach and return to this universe. They also projected a truth field so that the Doctor couldn't lie. As Doctor Who storylines go, it was a complicated one because there was also a religious order called the Silence, which was determined to ensure the Doctor never reached Trenzalore. It transpired that they were the ones who blew up his TARDIS, and they engineered a psychopath in the form of River Song in an attempt to bring him down. And as with all-timey Why-May Doctor Who storylines, this was a tough one to follow for viewers who periodically dipped in and out of the show, but it was brilliant. Bad Wolf. Bad Wolf was perhaps the OG of the Doctor Who storylines. Yes, there was the Key to Time and other Doctor Who storylines such as the E-Space trilogy and the Black Guardian trilogy, but this was the first one to introduce the concept of a drip-fed running theme, contributing to an ongoing mystery. This occurred during the first series of the 2005 reboot when Russell T. Davies was at the helm, and saw the 9th Doctor and Rose being constantly followed by the words Bad Wolf as they traveled through time and space. The words appeared in graffiti, pieces pages of dialogue, and as the names of institutions like a nuclear reactor in Cardiff and a TV station in the year 100,000. Like all good Doctor Who storylines, this was resolved in the season finale. Rose absorbed all the energy of the time vortex in order to pilot the TARDIS and save the Doctor. She then scattered the words Bad Wolf throughout time and space as a message to herself, telling her what she had to do in order to rescue her friend. But unlike other Doctor Who storylines, this particular plot arc is one that has passed into legend. In fact, the production team that now makes the current version of Doctor Who is called Bad Wolf Productions. Which is your favorite of the Doctor Who storylines? And which ones would you add to this list? Let us know in the comments below.
This is my favourite Doctor Who merch thing basically of the year, I think. So it's the Lavalzi 13 inspired...
Sorry, I just covered you up.
13 inspired scarf. It's just so lovely.
What's lovely about this is that it's not an exact replica of her scarf, which I actually think for me would have been a too bright a scarf anyway.
It's a bit more muted.
So it's more muted, but the stripes are exactly pretty much the same as the stripes on her shirt. So it's like her shirt as a scarf, but she already has a scarf that's quite similar to this as well.
It's really soft, it's really lightweight. It's one of those scarves that you can like
me so
wind
warm.
round a few times.
The brand and repping my love for Doctor Who without being over the top, or like if I'm walking around the office, people might not necessarily know that it's Doctor Who. Fashion. So this is, I think, $24.99 from Lavalzi, so not crazy expensive, I think, compared to like maybe like the Tom Baker scarves.
Well, like the Paul Smith scarf, for example, that Jodie actually wears is about £80.
Yeah.
Something like that. So
yeah,
if you just want like a day-to-day lovely scarf, the quality of the Lavalzi one is really lovely.
It's just such a good, like, yeah, I think it's honestly, like you said, probably one of my favourite pieces as well, because it's like properly curated, like fan piece. It's not like a replica or a sort of tacky bit of merch.
Yeah, it's like a new bit of merch.
It's just really nice. I really like it. So this, I think on the website, is called the Doctor Who laptop bag, but I actually use it as like a travel bag because I don't know if you can see, but it's really quite big.
Quite substantial.
So I take overnight stuff in this. Like I brought all my stuff here with my laptop and some books, some clothes and stuff here to Kez's. If I go to my mum's, I'll take all my stuff in it. If it's a laptop and much more. It's really nice. It does come with a long strap, which I don't actually use, and it's at home. But
you can pop it on your shoulder, or you can have it in the crook of your arm, something similar.
Like fashion, darling.
Yes. It's got a nice zip at the front. I mean, I'm just showing the fact that it has a zip. It has another zip for the main bit. Fancy that.
Inside, it's got a total of 1, 2, 3 pockets, 3 pen holders, which I had not noticed, and also straps inside. Oh no, there's one massive pocket. What's this for?
I think that's for the laptop.
Oh my god, there's like an actual pocket for the laptop. Oh my gosh.
It might also be good if you go to the gym. Like it would be a good gym
it'd be a great
bag.
gym bag.
Or something similar like that.
I agree.
But yeah, definitely for like overnight stuff. Like if you're going for a weekend away or just staying with family or something.
Yes, I really like it. I think it's a lovely gift for if you want to get someone a bigger present, or if you want it for yourself, just like if you need a new bag.
There's a nice variation of things here with things that are more kind of gifty, and then actually what if your friend actually needs a scarf or a bag or a purse or something similar.
It's something that they will use as opposed to like something that's maybe a bit, not tacky, but like maybe something they wouldn't use. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's only so many TARDISes you can make.